Hey everyone, welcome to Overland New Zealand. My name's Scott and I'm part of the Overland crew. You would have seen me in a few videos in the 42 Traverse and Red Rocks and that sort of thing. You would have also seen Scarlett the Surf. So today we're going to have a look around Scarlett and I'm going to tell you about all of the things I've added and changed to make my life a bit easier. So I guess to kick it off, the story about me while I'm here, I've always been interested in four-wheel driving. Back from when I was a wee kipper, the old man always had four-wheel drives, and then growing up it was kind of just missing from my life, and I didn't really understand. So I got a four-wheel drive, and it's made me be able to get access to all of the adventure things I'm also into. So I love fishing. I go paragliding, which means I need to get access to some pretty gnarly roads to get up mountains, and I basically I'm like Daniel, so I love exploring, and if I haven't been somewhere that, you know, and I have to go and look at it. I can't just go and look at a video. I have to go and do the track. So hopefully you've been coming along with us and doing the tracks that we've done, checking out Overland Navigator, leaving your own reviews. And yeah, we plan to keep doing more and more exploring and basically loving New Zealand and loving our trucks and taking good care of it.
Thanks to our patrons for help making this possible. Learn more below.
So come around and I'll show you the front first, and we'll kind of move from the forward to the back. I guess it seems like a logical way to do it. So yeah, it started off as a standard KZN185 Hilux Surf, and I've kind of added bits to it as I've needed. I've not gone out and rigged it up. Yeah, so obvious ones, chucked some MTs on it, not because I wanted MTs, but because I got them cheap. And they came with some Steelies, so chucked them on as well. Underneath those I'm running Dobinson's shocks and springs, and I've found those have completely transformed the vehicle. They've turned it into a bit of a boat, and hitting bump stops a lot, you know, 30-year-old suspension, that kind of thing, into something that feels a lot more like a car driving on the road. And that's been good. It's given me a 2-inch lift. Then come around here, and I haven't really done a whole lot to the front, but I got a bit bored during lockdown here in New Zealand, so I added this light bar, which now means I can go anywhere. And there's a bit of a story to this light bar. In 2015, me and 3 lads, we flew over to London. We bought this car, this 1-litre car, for £400, and we drove it from London to Mongolia, about 23,000 k's over 7 weeks. So we drove through something like 21 countries, and this trusty thing was on the wee car. This is the only thing we have left of the car. We brought it back, and I thought I'd kind of put it on just for a bit of posterity, and because I was bloody bored in lockdown, to be honest. Yeah, so moving up, having a look. Now we've got the old solar panel sticked out here. It's the morning, the sun's just come out, so 200-watt solar blanket. It's great when you pull up at camp. You can just kind of fold it out onto the bonnet and get a bit more charge for the batteries. So let's go have a look inside. Coming around. Haven't done too much in here, but she's sitting on about 251,000 Ks. I got her when she was about 200, and I've added a UHF radio, so I can talk to Daniel and he can tell me not to fall in the holes, and that's about it. Yeah, so inside just kind of works, right? It's comfortable enough for me, so I haven't changed it up too much. The seat's getting pretty old, so I probably should have, when I got it, put seat covers on it. that's something I might be thinking about upgrading. If there's a good set of Recaros that I find, I might chuck those in there. But yeah, if it's not broken, then I don't usually spend too much time on it. Yeah, I thought I'd quickly mention my solar setup. I haven't really figured out how to rig it up yet. So I've got this big wire on Anderson plugs each side. We'll get into the solar stuff soon, but it kind of just comes through an open window and into the back for the near the solar controller to charge the batteries. But I'm thinking about ways I can like route this on the inside and then maybe have a plug up front, or have a fly lead somewhere. So a better way of doing it. But let me know in the comments how you've done it, and maybe you can give me some ideas. So it can't be a build review without talking about the old tent on the roof there. So this is a Felden Shelter crow's nest, and I used to actually sleep inside the truck. I built this pretty cool platform and used some old carpet from my house, but it got pretty claustrophobic in there. I'm a small guy, but still it was you couldn't sit up or anything. And then Daniel decided he was going to upgrade his tent to the extended edition, so I jumped on the chance to grab this. Daniel and Chloe rave about their crow's nest, so I thought I'd give it a go, and I love it. Like it's now the way to travel and camp. You can get to camp in 5 minutes, and you've got this sweet as bed already set up. So yeah, really enjoying it. I don't know any other way to go and camp now. So let's have a look at the back. This is something that quite a few people have been asking about. How did I set up my drawers, and how does kind of my camping setup work? And so let's have a quick look at it. So coming in, I've got a water can here that I just bungee cord on. This is super easy. I love easy solutions. And when you get to camp, you just bungee it on. It's a great swing arm there. And here's the drawers that I've been talking about a lot. So it's a full-on, custom setup. I looked at a bunch of photos and things like that on how people have done it before, and figured out what I wanted. It's made of plywood, and it's basically got two main drawers in it. So I've got a drawer for food over here. So 7mm ply, and it's got these sliders here, which are really good. If I'd done it again, I would have used longer sliders, because there's still a bit of gap in here that's hard to get to. So food in that one, all my cooking gear in that one. What's cool about this one is you can pull out this bit of wood, and now you've got a table. So if you don't want to get out your camping table and you just quick, maybe it's raining, you can just pull this out and you can cook right here, which is real cool. The corners pop out as well, and I've got a bunch of recovery gear in here, and it basically gets to be a place where you just kind of chuck everything. The whole drawers themselves are secured down by some turnbuckles. There's in the floor of the Surf, there's some little I guess they're D clamps, and you can basically clamp down to those, and I'll use turnbuckles for those, and I think 2 corners. So that means the drawers don't jump around. They're heavy as, they don't jump around at all. Coming over to this side is where I keep the deep cycle and my switch panel. So really good space for it. Easy switch panel. This is where I run my lights. Fridge is hooked up here. I can keep an eye on my battery voltage. The battery sits down here. And this is also where the solar controller comes into. Coming over to the fridge, I think it's Brass Monkey brand, but yeah, my whole thing with this truck has been only buy it when you need it, and kind of not I don't want to say budget build, but buy cheap. If it breaks, buy expensive. It was a fairly cheap fridge, but it's doing its job. What I plan to do is drill some holes in it so I can kind of lash it down so it doesn't jump around. Probably the last thing to mention here is the LED strip lights I've put places. I find these super versatile. You can kind of just cut them the length you want and then solder some wires on and switch them up. So this is just hot glued to the top. Yeah, so another recent change I've made is my roof rack system. So I noticed that my previous system had heaps of slop in it, and you could on the 4-wheel drive tracks you could really see the roof tent moving around. I didn't think that was necessarily that good, so I've actually replaced the standard tracks that the Surf had with Runner Rack RTV tracks. So they're a bit longer, and the mounting system is a lot more sturdy. And I've gone further and replaced the bar system as well, bar and foot system, so I can fit this batwing on it, and this is amazing. This is a 270-degree awning. Daniel was super jealous because it's just such a cool system. And last night, this is actually the first night we've used it. Last night we were here, sun was going down, and there's a bit of breeze, so we chucked up a wall, yeah, and just made it way more comfortable. And so there we go. Now you've met Scarlett the Surf. She started as a really super stock vehicle, and I've added things as I've needed it, and it's all super simple, and like this is all you need to get out into the backcountry in New Zealand and enjoy this great scenery, and it's amazing. So if you see us on the road, give us a wave. If you see me in the pub, I like a beer or two. Cheers.